These beautiful blossoms are some kind of sunflower, I guess. And they just took my eye as I was driving by. And I wanted to get a picture of them. And down there a little ways, quite a few more. It's hard to focus these. And just lift this up here and look at this magnificent old tree. I guess that's an oak tree. It's got to be at least 100 years old. The outer branches of it are almost as big around as I am. And that's big. What a great tree. This is just a little update on my garden tour, because I showed before how many roses had come out after they'd been all pruned back. But take a look at this. There are just so many blossoms now that you could hardly even count them anymore. Back off a little bit here so we can get some more. Back in the corner there, there is more of those. Where are they? Where are they? Those orange ones. There's so many different colors and varieties in here. This is a very small camera, and consequently the slightest little movement makes it look real jerky. But there are just blossoms everywhere you look now. Here I'm going down to the ones in the foreground. Raise it up here. And those are the reds and pinks there that were hiding from the other shot that I just gave you. And those huge yellow blossoms there. They're just enormous. These white ones over here have some pretty big ones on them too. Just a different angle. Guy with a pickup truck who has his muffler disabled, or maybe glass packed. Let's back up so you can get a look at this entire plant here. This is another one of those. It just had a few little buds on it early on, and now it's absolutely laden with enormous blossoms. Now some of these plots though have really blossomed. There's a lot more flowers in these. My housemates are really into gardening. I'm into gardens, but not so much gardening, because basically, aside from the fact that I'm lazy, which I guess is pretty self-evident, I'm also very fat. That obesity makes it very difficult for me to get down and work in a garden, because once having bent the knees that far, I have a really hard time getting back up. These flowers which I asked about because I didn't know what they were when I photographed them the last time. If I had just lowered the camera a little bit, I would have seen that they are aloe. Aloe? Yeah, that's what they are. Those are aloe vera plants. I had no idea that they had such pretty flowers on them. Now, we had a fully bloomed amaryllis here for a little while, but the original bloom dropped off. But here's a bud that's going to come out again shortly. And I'm going to keep tabs on it, and before I actually put up the next video of the garden, it will be in full bloom too. And I'll share it with you when I get it. Now it's recording. Here's the amaryllis. It was just a bud a little while ago. Now it's a full-fledged flower. Beautiful, isn't it? You might want to call it an amaryllis if you're a fan of the Music Man, I should say. I almost said West Side Story. The Music Man. There's the whole plant down there. And next to it, that succulent, the name of which I still do not know. Here's a pretty little blossom. Whoops. I have to learn to hold this thing still. I don't know what those are. You have a long stalk and long leaves. And there's just a little baby one on the end of a stalk. And there, pink carnation in a pot. I don't know what these little guys are. They're all in little tiny pots. They haven't been planted in the garden yet, but they will be. I'm sure there are names for all these things, but I don't know them. But I do enjoy looking at them just the same. And this is our mint garden. We have quite a bit of mint out here. One of my housemates likes to make mint tea. And she brings in the leaves, and it's kind of neat to kind of rub them between your fingers and get that scent. And that smell is really pretty. Really nice. Maybe that's the azalea. In any case, the flowers are gone off of it. That's about where it was. This is just inside the front door. We get these lights flung across the floor. Sometimes they stretch way back to the back door from right there. Those leaded glass inserts there, and that one really do make a nice pattern from the sunlight coming in. And also, you don't need to have one of those. We have a hole in the door, one of those little holes in the door for a spy hole. We don't really need one because you can see through that to see who's out there, and yet they can't really see you. I don't know if I'm going to want to share this one with you or not. This is yours truly in his glorious full figure. You see, we're jolly people built like this. Oh, let me get it down here a little bit. You can see my face a little better. Not that anybody really wants to. Yeah. And the hummingbird feeder. Now it's right about the middle of the day right now, so we probably haven't got any visitors expected, but in the morning and evening hours, there are several hummers who come here pretty regularly. There's a couple of females, and there's one male who tries to frighten them away whenever he's in the neighborhood. Doesn't like to share this, even though there are several perches on it. Pretty little critters, though.